Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered why he once chased you like a storm, but now treats your presence like background noise? Why his eyes, once full of fire for you, now seem distracted, distant? It's not because you lost your magic, it's because you forgot how magnetic it truly is. Let's be clear, the most irresistible women are not the loudest, not the ones trying to prove their worth. They are the ones who move with grace, who speak with softness, but carry the kind of energy that wraps around a man's mind and never lets go. And Queen, yes, your presence is powerful, but only when you remember how to wear it. Seneca once said, "A thing is not beautiful because it lasts, but because it leaves an impact." And that's exactly what these feminine habits do. They don't just make him notice you, they make him remember you. Even when he's far from your touch, far from your voice, something about you lingers. Like the scent of his favorite perfume in an empty room, like a melody that keeps playing in the back of his mind. That's the kind of effect we're talking about. There's something you need to know about men. He may forget the words you said, but he will never forget the way you made him feel. When you unlock these 6 powerful, soft, deeply feminine habits, you don't just become attractive, you become unforgettable. You awaken something in him that no other woman could. You shift his emotional compass. You become the calm he craves after chaos. And not because you chased him, not because you changed for him, but because you became so in tune with yourself that he couldn't help but be drawn in. Think of a rose in full bloom. It doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't move or beg to be seen. It just stands in its beauty. And those who pass by, they stop, they admire, they feel something shift. That is what happens when a woman taps into her soft power, her nurturing energy, her feminine strength. It's not loud, but it's felt, deeply. And the man who sees that, he gets hooked, not by force, but by fascination. Lovely woman, this is not about changing who you are. It's about returning to who you've always been. Powerful, radiant, magnetic. This is about building habits that speak louder than words. Habits that make him sit up, lean in, and never look away again. Because when you move like a queen, love like a queen, and live like a queen, he doesn't just want you, he needs you. If this message spoke to your heart, if it reminded you of the power you've always carried deep inside, then show your love back. Like this video and subscribe to the channel, because we are working hard every single day to bring you content that heals, empowers, and awakens the queen within you. This is more than a video. It's your reminder that you were never ordinary. You were always magnetic. Number 1. He gets addicted to the way you make peace feel like passion. Have you ever wondered why he can't seem to forget you, even when he tries to move on? Why your voice still echoes in his silence? Why your calm feels more addictive than anyone else's chaos? It's because your presence does something different to him. You don't bring drama. You don't beg for attention. You don't play games. You bring peace, but not the dull kind. Not the kind that puts him to sleep. You bring the kind of peace that stirs something in his soul. The kind that makes his heart beat faster, not slower. You make peace feel like passion. And once he experiences that, nothing else compares. There's a deep truth here. He doesn't always want excitement. He wants rest that doesn't feel like giving up. And when you walk into his life, carrying grace in your voice and confidence in your silence, you become his safe place and his spark all at once. You're not loud, but you're unforgettable. You don't chase, but you stay on his mind. He didn't even realize he was tired until your energy made him feel alive again. A woman like that becomes his addiction, because no matter how many storms he's used to, your calm teaches him a different kind of high. A high that doesn't crash. A high that doesn't come from noise, but from depth. It's like rain on a wildfire. Unexpected, soothing, powerful, and rare. Think of a soft breeze on a summer night. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't scream, but it changes everything. It cools, it comforts, and it stays with you long after it's gone. That's what your feminine energy does to him when you lead with softness, not submission. When you hold space, not pressure. When your peace becomes the reason he keeps coming back. Dear lady, stop thinking you need to compete with noise to be noticed. You are the storm and the stillness. And the moment you understand that, you'll see how easily he becomes drawn to you. Not because you changed who you are, but because you remembered the power of who you've always been. He won't say it out loud, but when he finds peace in you, he feels it in ways he can't explain. That's not just attraction, that's addiction, and no matter where he goes, no one else will bring him that same feeling. Because of that feeling. It only comes from a woman who knows her power. Write this in the comments and claim it, queens. My peace is his addiction. Let the world know that you are done shrinking, done chasing, done doubting. We're working hard to create these powerful, life-changing reminders just for you. Number 2. He craves the mystery in your silence more than the noise of anyone else's attention. Have you ever noticed how the quietest room can hold the most tension? How the absence of noise can say more than 1,000 loud voices? That's exactly what happens when you pull back your energy, when you stop explaining, stop chasing, stop trying to be louder than his distractions. He may not realize it at first. He may even feel powerful in your silence, but over time, he starts to crave what he can no longer hear. He starts to miss the softness of your voice, the warmth in your words, the way your energy used to wrap around him like a comfort he didn't know he needed, until it was gone. The most powerful presence is the one that knows when to be silent. And queen, your silence. It's not emptiness, it's power. Because when a woman learns to withhold her energy, not out of spite, but out of self-worth, she becomes unforgettable. He can drown in noise from others. He can be surrounded by attention, but none of it quiets the voice in his head that keeps replaying yours. That's the kind of hold you have, not by force, but by energy. Think of a scent he once loved. At first, it clings to his skin, faint but familiar. But when it's gone, when he searches for it in the air and finds nothing, that's when he misses it the most. Your silence becomes that scent, delicate, haunting, irreplaceable. While others may talk over each other for his time, you pull back, you let the space grow, and suddenly he starts to lean in, not because you begged for his attention, but because your absence made it priceless. This is what makes a woman magnetic, not how much she speaks, but when she chooses not to, not what she shares, but what she keeps for herself. He gets addicted to that mystery, the unknown, the emotional grace that doesn't give him everything but makes him want to earn it. And when you master this, he will never stop thinking about you, because silence that holds power is louder than any voice that screams for it. You were never meant to beg. You were meant to mystify, And the man who once thought he had you figured out, he will sit in silence, haunted by the echo of what he can no longer reach. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. My silence is my power, and it speaks louder than words. And if this message unlocked something inside you, we're working hard to bring you the lessons that help you reign, not chase. Because a queen doesn't need to raise her voice. Her silence already owns the room. Number 3. He falls for the softness that refuses to be controlled. He didn't fall for your body first. He didn't fall for your beauty, your words, or even your smile. He fell for the part of you he couldn't understand, the softness that refused to be owned. That's the part that haunts him, because he's met loud women, demanding women, women who chase and beg and bend to be chosen. But you were different. You gave him warmth without losing your fire. You made him feel safe without giving away your soul. And that kind of softness is dangerous, because he can't control it, and yet he can't let go of it either. Nothing is stronger than gentleness when it is guarded by self-respect. That's your power. Your softness is not weakness, it's strength under control. You're not loud, but you're unforgettable. You don't raise your voice, but you change his. You don't fight to be seen. Your presence commands attention without saying a word. That quiet energy, that's what wraps around his mind at night. That's what keeps him coming back, even when he doesn't understand why. Think of water. It flows, it bends, it adapts, but it carves mountains, splits stone, and shapes the earth without ever shouting. You are that water. You adjust without losing yourself. You love without losing your standards. You care deeply, but never at the cost of your dignity. He may have tried to lead you, but he quickly learned you weren't following. You were dancing beside him on your own terms. And in relationships, this is the truth that binds him to you. He doesn't just want someone soft. He wants someone who knows when to walk away, when you don't react to his games, when you don't chase his validation, when you stay kind but keep your power. That is when you become unforgettable. He starts craving you, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, because you are no longer trying to be loved. You are being love itself. So, lovely woman, do not dim your soft energy. Do not hide your heart just because it was once mishandled. Let him feel what it's like to be near a woman who is gentle, but not to be tested. Let him wonder how something so soft can leave such a permanent mark. Because when you move with grace, but stay rooted in your worth, you don't just attract him, you unnerve him, you challenge him, and he falls, not because he was forced, but because he's never met a woman like you before. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. My softness is power he can't control. Let the world know that your light isn't fragile, it's fierce. We are working hard to bring you life-changing lessons that remind you who you truly are. A woman who cannot be replaced, and certainly not controlled. Number 4. He's drawn to the confidence you wear like perfume, unseen but always felt. Have you ever noticed how he keeps glancing at you when you aren't even speaking? How his eyes seem to search for you in every room, even when you've said nothing at all? That's not luck. That's not chance. That's the effect of a woman who walks in silent confidence, a kind of presence that can't be touched, only felt. He doesn't know why he can't stop thinking about you, but you do. Because when you carry yourself with quiet certainty, he becomes drawn in like a moth to flame. Not because you're loud, not because you're trying, but because you don't have to. True power, as one poet once said, doesn't need to roar, it only needs to exist. And confidence, real confidence, is like perfume. It lingers in the air, it whispers your worth long after you've walked away. He can't describe it, but he knows he wants to be around it. The way you sit with peace in your silence. The way you speak slowly, like every word has weight. The way you enter a room, like the room has been waiting for you. That's not arrogance. That's the energy of a woman who doesn't need attention to feel worthy. Think of the moon. It doesn't compete with the stars. It doesn't shout. But when it rises, the world pauses. That's you. The kind of woman who doesn't beg for space, but whose very presence creates it. And the man who once chased noise and chaos now finds himself addicted to the calm storm you carry. You didn't change yourself to keep him. You remembered yourself, and that's what pulled him in. In a relationship, a man may be pulled to beauty, but what keeps him addicted is mystery, depth, presence. A woman who knows who she is, even when no one's looking. And that confidence, that's what he can't get out of his head. It's not loud, it doesn't beg, it doesn't bend, it stays. And when he compares it to everything else out there, nothing feels like you. Because confidence isn't about proving anything, it's about knowing, deep in your bones, that you're already the prize. So hear this, lovely woman. Your silence is not emptiness, it's power, and your presence is your secret weapon. Let him lean in, let him wonder, let him feel your worth without you saying a single word. That is the kind of energy that drives him wild and keeps him coming back. Write this in the comments and claim it. My confidence speaks even when I'm silent. Queens, if this touched your heart, like this video and subscribe. We are working every day to bring you life-changing truths that remind you of the woman you've always been. You're not here to chase love. You're here to command it. Number 5. He keeps coming back to the way you let him lead, without ever losing your power. Have you ever seen the quiet kind of woman who doesn't fight for the spotlight, doesn't raise her voice, yet still controls the whole room without saying a word? The kind of woman who lets him lead without resistance, but somehow she's the one guiding the energy the entire time. That's not weakness, that's power. And that right there is what drives him wild. He doesn't even fully understand why he keeps thinking about her, why her energy stays with him long after she's gone. It's because she let him feel like a man, while never once letting go of her crown. A powerful woman doesn't need to dominate the moment. She knows her presence already shifts it. She allows him to lead, but never shrinks to make him feel strong. She holds her power quietly, but fiercely, and he feels that. Every time he talks, every time he moves, every time he leads, he looks back just to see if she's still watching, because her silent approval, it means more to him than 1,000 loud praises. A quote that fits here perfectly. True power is not in controlling others. It's in mastering yourself in a room where everyone else is trying to be loud. You see, he doesn't fall for the woman who competes with him. He falls for the woman who balances him, who lets him take the wheel without ever forgetting she built the road. That energy, it's not fake. It's not a game. It's a deep inner knowing, a presence that says, I know who I am, and I don't have to prove it. Think of a lighthouse in the middle of the sea. It doesn't move, it doesn't chase, it stands tall. And yet, every lost ship looks for it. Every sailor is guided by it. Every storm finds comfort in its light. That's how your feminine power works. You don't need to scream for his attention. You just need to be the woman who knows when to step forward and when to simply stand tall and let him come to you. Because here's the truth. The more you trust your power, the more he feels drawn to it. You don't fight for control. You don't need to. You are control. And when he realizes you never once gave up your strength to make him feel strong, he gets addicted. Not just to your love, but to your presence. He keeps coming back, not because you begged, but because your balance made him feel like a better version of himself. And no man forgets the woman who made him feel like more, without ever needing less. Write this in the comments and claim it, queens. I let him lead, but I never lose my crown. This is your moment to walk in your power with softness, with pride, with grace. We are working hard to bring you these life-changing lessons because queens like you were never made to compete. You were made to reign. Number 6. He remembers the energy you carry, even when you're gone. Have you ever noticed how a scent lingers long after a person leaves the room? It's subtle, it's soft, but it pulls you back into a memory you weren't expecting to feel again. That's exactly what your presence does to him. He may think he's moved on. He may believe he's fine without you. But suddenly, in the middle of his day, in the silence of his night, he feels it, that energy you left behind. And no matter who's beside him now, nothing fills that space the way you did. Some energies leave footprints on the soul, not just the floor. That's you. He thought you were just a moment, just a phase, but you were a shift. You were a rhythm that rewrote the beat of his heart. And now that you're gone, he's learning the hardest truth. Your energy wasn't just felt, it was memorized. Not by accident, not by luck, but because you lived and loved with a kind of depth that's rare. Imagine a room warmed by sunlight. He didn't notice it at first. He just enjoyed the warmth, took it for granted. But now the sun has set and there's a chill in the air he can't shake. That's what your absence feels like. A quiet cold he can't name. He's surrounded by new distractions, new voices, new hands, but none of them carry your frequency. None of them hold the spark that once lit him from within. That's the power of a woman who leads with true feminine energy. She does not chase, she does not beg, she lingers. She becomes the echo that doesn't fade. Lovely woman, this is why your softness should never be mistaken for weakness. Your care, your warmth, your attention to what he needs without asking, it was never ordinary. It was soul medicine. He just didn't know it at the time. But now, even in rooms you've never stepped into, you are remembered. Because what you gave can't be replaced. And no matter how hard he tries, he will search for you in every new connection and find nothing but shadows. You are not forgotten. You are etched into him, not with words, but with energy, not with drama, but with presence. And now you rise, not to prove anything, but because queens don't wait to be missed. Queens build empires from silence. They become legends through absence. Write this in the comments and claim it. My energy is unforgettable. We are working hard to create the kind of content that reminds you your presence is power. And when you live as a queen, he never forgets the day he lost you. Number 7. He realizes too late that you were the one who fed his soul, not just his ego. Have you ever wondered why he keeps running after attention but feels empty at the end of the day? Why he keeps chasing thrill after thrill but still finds something missing when he's alone? It's because he's feeding his ego, not his soul. And the truth is, only one kind of woman ever reaches that deep place in a man. The kind who doesn't just flatter him, the kind who feeds him emotionally, spiritually, energetically. And when that woman walks away, he feels it like a hunger no other can satisfy. A man can forget words, he can forget gifts, but he never forgets the feeling of being truly understood, of being seen beyond the surface. You were that woman. You didn't just make him feel like a man. You made him feel safe in ways he didn't even know he needed. He didn't understand it then. He confused your emotional depth with simplicity. He thought your softness meant you'd stay. He believed the comfort you gave would always be there. So, he walked away, searching for noise, forgetting the value of your calm. There's a quote that says, "The soul remembers what the mind chooses to forget, and one day he will remember, when the spark fades with her, when her praise starts to sound hollow, when her touch no longer calms his storms. That's when he'll feel it, that deep ache for the energy you carried. Because what you gave him, that was nourishment, not just attention. You filled the spaces inside him that ego could never reach. And now, those same spaces echo with your absence. Think of a tree that stands tall, firm, beautiful, not because it chases sunlight, but because its roots go deep. You were that kind of woman. He didn't see the strength beneath your surface, but now he'll feel it. Because he built something shallow after walking away from something sacred. And no matter how many branches he reaches for, nothing will grow like the roots he abandoned. Beautiful woman, this is your moment. You are not the one who lost. You are the one he will remember every time love feels shallow. You are the one he will compare to every new connection that lacks your soul. You were never there to stroke his ego. You were the fire that kept his soul warm. Write this in the comments and claim it. I fed his soul, not his ego. I am unforgettable. And queens, if this touched your heart, if it reminded you of who you really are, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you lessons that help you rise, heal, and reign. Because the world may forget your name, but the right man, he will never forget your presence.